Hello everyone, this is week 4 of the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge, and this is day 4. This is Wednesday. Earlier today I made some cream of broccoli soup. Now I'm making something new, sweet potato tortillas. And I've never made this before, and I'm going to give it a shot. This is a prep ahead for tomorrow. It's very late. It's, oh boy, it's almost 7 o'clock p.m. I'm prepping ahead for tomorrow. I'm planning on doing flounder for fish tacos, and I might do the bean and rice dinner tonight because the tortilla can go along with that. But we're not going to eat that tonight. We've already eaten cream of broccoli soup and a few other snacks. Some were healthy, some were not. So I have eaten well today, but I'm prepping ahead for tomorrow. And so we can have some more meals throughout the week as we close out this challenge, getting closer and closer, because I'm only doing January. And I wish I could do February. If I had prepped better last year, I could have. When your butter is melted, this base has cooked long enough. Add a little milk. And you can follow the precise measurements on the recipe I give you. A little lemon juice, sour cream. This recipe calls for a cup of sweet potatoes, a cup of flour, the olive oil, a couple tablespoons for the frying pan, and a pinch or two of salt. This is how I make the dough, and I'm going to put my salt in there, just a little bit of salt. Okay, I've already tried this, but it says to separate the large dough ball into 4 to 6 individual dough balls. My tortillas rolled out, and I'm going to put them on the hot oil. Okay, they're frying now. 1 minute per side. Here's what one of them that got browner looks like. And you'll fold them over and use them for tacos. So they're cooled now, and I have them in a container. It said in the recipe that you can store them for up to 3 days. One of our meals, it's going to be meatless. Okay, I have rice cooking, and we're going to have chili beans with just a little, I'm going to add it right now, chili powder. Usually I do the cheese first. Add a little cheese to each helping of beans. There we go. I'll give them a generous amount. And a little scallions. There we go. And you have a beautiful dish. I've got our meals plated, beans and rice, chili beans and rice, and sweet potato tortillas. This looks really good. My husband will like this. Hello everyone. Today is the second to last day of my January Pantry Challenge. I agreed to do the Pantry Challenge only for January because I was not totally prepared not to buy meat and packaged goods like rice and noodles, things like that, in the month of February. Hopefully next year I'll prep ahead of time and not wait until December. Around Christmas time I made my decision to participate in the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. But hopefully next year, good Lord willing, if I'm still here, I'll prep better so I can include February in that challenge. So today I'm going to finish out this challenge. I'm going to prep ahead for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the very last day, but we're going to have our meals prepped ahead. And I'm going to show you something right now that surprised the heck out of me. Something I forgot I had. It was sitting in the dining room. I'm not in the dining room very often, and I'll show you what it is. And it really excited me. I turned my oven on. Here it is in my dining room, an acorn squash. This really excited me. I just ran out of our special squash or sweet potato pancakes, and I'm going to make pancakes and something else with this. So I got the oven turned on, and I'm ready to wash it, cut it in half, and roast it. How exciting. I didn't grow it like I did the butternut squash. I bought it from Aldi, but still, I've had this for 2 months, and it's still good. These squashes last a very long time. The winter squashes do. It's amazing. This acorn squash has been a little bit of a challenge. I'm using a pillar knife. You can use a carving knife. It is really, really hard. I bet if I grew that, I'm just saying, if I grew it myself, I bet anything, it would not be this hard to cut. Oh, I wish I'd grown it myself. Because I grew one time, and a couple of them, I think. They were small. They were so easy to cut. A pumpkin carving knife would be best. There we go. We got it. It was a struggle, but we got it. That's the hardest part. Everything else is easy from here on. So I'm going to put these squashes, halves, in the oven for about 50 minutes at 400. Preheating. Now I'm prepping ahead for our fish taco dinner. I'm going to run cold water. Lunch today, we're going to have this Progresso beef pot roast with country vegetables. This is my husband's favorite canned soup, and I like it too. It just pretty much is good the way it is. You can always doctor it up. He likes garlic salt. Here it is. We also have 4 pieces of cornbread that I just took out of the freezer last night. So that can go along with this meal, or I might try to make a chili, but I don't have tomatoes. Now, how am I going to do that? I don't know. I decided to make a meatless chili, and it does not contain tomatoes. So it will have beef broth, chili powder, and onion. So over here, I got some onion cut up, and I've got 1 cup of beef broth I'm going to add to that chili. I'm just going to put some onions in that. And I've got some onions I'm going to be cutting up for, pretty sure it takes onions. I'm going to look, I have a recipe, and I only made it once. Homemade tater tots. I thought that would go great with our fish tacos for tomorrow night. Beef broth with onion. And it's about a little more than half a can of chili beans. It's just about half a can, I would say. Put a little bit of chili powder. Whoops. I spilled it. So what I decided to do is to add some rice and turn this into a Mexican bean soup with rice, which does not contain meat. I Googled it, and there is such a thing. My husband will like this. Oh, this looks good. I added garlic powder and chili powder. Just a little. This is spicy, though. But cumin's not spicy. I think it has a really good flavor. See, that gave it body. You want your soup to have body, but sometimes you just like a good old-fashioned soup that's thin, like they serve at Chinese restaurants. But we want this to be filling because this is lunch tomorrow. Now I have these potatoes that are getting old and they're growing roots. Tater tots, I don't know. This big page I printed this out years ago when I had a printer that actually worked. And it does not say where it came from, but it has all the complete instructions and ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and make it, and then I'm going to check online and try to find where this recipe came from. If you know where it came from, let me know. Just peeling some potatoes here. I just took the squashes out of the oven, and they're done, and they're plenty tender enough, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I can mash them easily. Now I'm just washing off my potatoes one by one. Started to cut these potatoes up to cook, but then I remembered, well, I looked on the recipe, and you have to parboil them. And you start with cold water and parboil them after it boils for 6 to 7 minutes. Then they have to cool, and then you shred them to make the tater tots. I'm just washing off my last piece of fish here. There, and I can fry them just like I always do. I'm just using salt and pepper and frying them 3 minutes on each side. I'm going to store them in this container in the refrigerator, cutting them up with the fork in big pieces. There we go. My potatoes are finally boiling. They've got about 5 minutes to go. The potatoes have cooked long enough and they've got a long way to go to cool. Okay, it's time to shred the potatoes to make the homemade tater tots. Here's what I shredded. I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of flour. Now that I measured out, but everything else I'm just going to sprinkle some salt and pepper and garlic powder. I'm going to make little tots with my hands. So with clean hands, I'm going to form my little tots. It was too confusing in that bowl, so I just put them on a plate so I know what I've already done. I'm going to save these for Saturday. I'm going to flatten them. They're going to be potato cakes for my husband and I on Saturday. I'm going to make a breakfast. Now I only used half a cup of oil. This called for a whole cup. Okay, it said to add 4 to 6 at a time. I've got them on this big spatula. Okay, and they're frying. I'll be turning them over on each side. I'm having the time with these. Doing it at home. Okay, here's what they look like. They turned out pretty good. Most of them did. Some of them flopped. I've got plenty of oil. I'm going to save this after it cools for Saturday's breakfast. Now I've got everything from my fish tacos. These are the only toppings I could come up with. Even shredded some carrots and scallions and lettuce. This lettuce is still kind of crunchy. I thought it looked wilted, but it's pretty good. That's the last of the lettuce. And that's the last of the scallions. And the olives also. And did not have any tomatoes to put on our fish tacos. Let's say, here's our fish, and here's our sweet potato tortillas. I just need to put some paprika on the fish. It needs to be prettier than that. I need to make a special sauce, and here's the ingredients I'm going to use for that. I'm making a sauce for our fish tacos. It's the same sauce I made the other day for the baked carrot fries. So it's just a little mayonnaise and lemon juice and sriracha. Oh, I'm going to make it kind of spicy because I'm also going to put minced garlic, but I think it called for, I don't think it called for garlic. I think it called for a little salt, and it didn't need it. So you just mix that all up together. Here's my dinner that I prepped ahead. It's an open-faced fish taco with all those good toppings and the tater tots. And the sauce that I made will go for both of them. This meal is prepped ahead for tomorrow. My husband he likes to put his fish on his tortilla at the time that he's eating it. He doesn't want it in the refrigerator because the tortilla gets soggy, he said. I don't mind that. And he likes to assemble his own toppings. So good for him. Last thing I'm doing today to do with cooking is scooping out this acorn squash that I roasted. And so I can just mash it with the spoon, actually. That's how soft it is. It roasted really good. That's pretty good. And just try to scoop all of it out. It's like a shell. The peelings are like a shell. I'm just going to make it easy when I make pancakes. The place is a mess, to be honest. A woman's work is never done. Man works from sun to sun, but a woman's work is never done. That's what they say. But women work from sun to sun down, and they go home and they work their butts off too. Thank you so much for taking the time today to watch my video. This pantry challenge has been challenging. I'm not going to lie. A lot of home cooking and being creative. But boy, did I save money. My husband and I saved a total. And when I told him he was He was dumbfounded in a state of shock. But of course, he bought some things for himself, like chocolate syrup for ice cream, things like that. What we saved was amazing. I still can't get over it. I wrote down the amount. Oh, we only spent $41 on groceries for the month of January. That's what I wanted to share with you. That is amazing. Okay, and we were able to save. See, our budget is $300. So minus that, I believe it was $259. Yeah, we pretty much had a no-spend month. We didn't spend hardly any money for the month of January. I wanted it to be a no-spend. It wasn't completely, but it was a very low spend. And we were able to save 40% of our income. And that's almost enough to pay for the project to be done. And I just wish you all the best of luck. And if you did this challenge, if you're doing it for February, boy, do I wish you luck. And those who did canning, they live in the country and they do gardening, I really think highly of you, and I wish I could do that too. I wish I lived out in the country. Yeah, that's for sure. But I just have a limited space here in the city. But gardening is a lot of fun, and I hope to do more and to do a little bit of canning this summer. So, God bless you. I'll see you on the next one.